Hey guys, I am finally back to give you a tour of the updated camp kitchen trailer that I made. I made a video a couple years ago. I've been dying to do an update because I've made some changes, but I've been very busy and just haven't had a chance. That's why I'm not at a campsite. I'm in my driveway, but I'm finally ready to show you some of the changes I've made and go into a little bit more detail, hopefully answer some of the questions that people had about the last video that I made. Let's go ahead and do a recap of the first video in case you didn't see that. This is a camp trailer that I made for our family so that we could go camping a little bit easier. My goal was to have as much stuff on here packed and ready to go so that it was easier to pack up and go camping. All we had to do was grab our tent and our sleeping bags. So on here I've got a fully built out kitchen, got all of our cooking utensils, spices, things like that, storage for things like our ice chest, water, propane tanks, even our portable toilet. And I built this trailer based on a used trailer that I bought that was a utility trailer that had been made out of a Harbor Freight trailer. So it had quite a life. I did not realize it was a Harbor Freight trailer when I bought it because it had been lengthened and had these sides added on it. But the wood was totally rotted out. So I replaced the wood, and then I realized the frame was just one of those bolted together Harbor Freight frames. I really should have just built one from scratch because I ended up welding everything together, strengthening the extension that had been welded on the back. And then it only had a single shaft for the front tongue. So I ended up completely reinforcing that and then adding two side supports to give it a lot more strength. And then everything else I built out. The other thing that it had was these ammo boxes already mounted on the side, which at first I thought was kind of strange, but then as I was looking at it, I thought, that's genius. I've got watertight compartments all around my trailer that I can put all the little miscellaneous things in that I need when I go camping. So that's the overview of the trailer. Now I'll go ahead and go over some of the setup, show you the kitchen, show you some of the changes I made, and hopefully give you a little inspiration for a trailer you may want to build. Let's go ahead and start with the kitchen setup. So the first thing is you pull these two latches and open these doors, which become prep tables on each side of the stove. And you pull these two latches here, that drops down, you have access to the Camp Chef stove in here. Got a great amount of space, and I haven't had any issues with the stove heating up the wood too much. I've given it a little bit of space. It's got a nice heat guard around there. And then I've got the wind guard that I can also pull out and install on the stove. In here, I've got a storage compartment for some of the things that we use on the stove. Got a bottle of oil, got a little pot, and a few other things. So that is the stove compartment. This trailer has seen a ton of use, so please excuse all the stained wood. A lot of bacon has been cooked on this thing. But if we lift this up, then we have easy access to the drawer under here, which just has two more latches. We pull it open, and in the drawer here we have all of our cast iron cookware. Got some cleaning rags, some bowls. I've got all the silverware organized over here, the magnet beneath it so it helps them stay in. Use some Kydex to make little clamps for all of our seasonings. We got a bunch of seasonings that just fit in there. This middle compartment is just storage. We've got our Mr. Heater Big Buddy heater. That's great for the tent, keeps it so warm. And then a propane lantern, and then that last spot I usually just put our drinking water jug. Now we're on to the front of the trailer. So we've got an ice chest, obviously. This is new since the last video. It is our toilet box. We've got one of those Thetford 5-gallon portable toilets. I built that box so it would be taken care of. And when it's pulled off, I just pull the lid off and put it in the front as kind of a stool for the kids, and set it up in a little toilet tent. Works great. And then up here we've got our propane tanks. One of these runs the stove. I've got the propane line run through right there. So the stove on the trailer just hooks up to that one. And then this one we pull off and set by the tent for the heater. And then we've got these 4-inch tubes here. Oh, that one's empty. hold our extra propane tanks for the lantern and for the heater, just in case. One of my favorite additions to the trailer since the last video is this. Rather than pulling out these 7-gallon jugs and just setting them over the edge and washing our hands or dishes that way, I integrated a sink here into the side, which uses a foot pump that drops out of the bottom here. I've got a little latch, opens this door, and then I can pull out this foot pump, stake it into the ground, and then when you push that, you get water out of the sink. This faucet is just a simple folding faucet that's available from Amazon. Soap dispenser I think I got from Home Depot. It's just a countertop mount soap dispenser. And then the sink I was not able to find, and so I ended up buying an aluminum baking dish, drilling a hole in the middle, kind of hammering it down a little bit so there was at least some slope for it to drain, and then installed a drain and hooked it up. And it's worked great, actually. And then over here we got our dish soap, made a little Kydex holder for that. If you've never played with Kydex, it's very fun. You can order little 12 by 12 or 15 by 15 sheets of it on Amazon, and it's just a moldable plastic. You heat it up with a heat gun, you can mold it to whatever shape you need, let it dry, and then, or cool down, I guess, and then it retains that shape. The foot pump draws from these 2 water containers via this pipe here. I just drop it in the hole after unscrewing the spout, and then it'll suck it pretty much dry, and then I move on to the next one. And it works really, really well. I'll show you some of these ammo boxes real quick. In that one we had tent stakes and some extra batteries and some random stuff. This one is like dish stuff, extra dish soap, dish towels, some waste treatment for the portable toilet. In this one I store extra batteries, a little fan for our tent. And then in this one, we've got my little shop vacuum, which is really great for cleaning up the tent afterwards, after we're done camping. In this one, we've got wood chocks, which go underneath the stabilizing jacks for the trailer. And then in this one, I usually put my little shop blower, which is really nice for cleaning off the trailer after driving down a long, dusty road to get to a campsite. Another thing I've installed is these drop-down leveling jacks, which are too short, but that's why I've got the wood blocks. And it doesn't matter what angle I park at, I can put those down and get this trailer perfectly level, which is great for cooking eggs in the morning. The last thing I've installed that has been really nice is this little port for a large umbrella, which gives us great shade during hot sunny days. Once again, using some Kydex there to hold it. That is one thing that's been really great. Thank you so much for checking out my trailer. It's been real fun to show it to you, and it has been such a fun project to build. I'm always looking for new ways to improve it, trying to come up with new ideas, and it's half the fun of it. It's really just so fun to build this. Hopefully, if you're planning on building a trailer yourself, I gave you a little inspiration, maybe some ideas on what you might want to do on your own, and hopefully some improvements you can make. I am going to be moving on to a new project here pretty soon. Not sure what it's going to be yet. Maybe a pop-up camper, maybe converting our utility trailer into a trailer similar to this, but with more space. We've got 4 kids now, and between having to use more seats in the car and having more stuff to go camping, we just are running out of space. So we got to do something bigger. This may actually be for sale soon. Maybe I'll put a link in the description if anybody's interested. Please leave a comment if you have any other questions. I tried to cover all the questions that people asked about after the last video. But if I missed anything or if you have any new questions, please leave a comment. I will do my best to respond. I got way more attention on the last video than I ever expected I would. It's been really fun to see what people think about it. So I'm excited to see what new questions and comments we have. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next one.